Namaste, welcome back to UD's Quickest Movie Reviews. As always, this is Udai back with some wonderful filmmakers and their work that we are going to review in our show today. Now, first things first. In our last episode, unknowingly we did a big mistake by giving some wrong information about the filmmakers. We totally understand that it is a very big mistake from our end. We take full responsibility and sincerely apologize to those filmmakers and viewers of the film Sandwich Maker. The director of the film is Mr. Ankit Kukreti. We appreciate Ankit for making such a great movie. Once again, we apologize to Mr. Ankit and his team for our mistake. And we promise we will take care that such mistakes are not done in future. I especially thank those who corrected us and sent us the right details so that we can correct ourselves. Now, let's start today's episode. But before that, how can we forget to thank our subscribers who have been supporting us so much? Thanks to each and every subscriber, and if you are new to our channel and not yet subscribed us yet, now is the right time to hit that subscribe and bell icon and help us reach all those filmmakers around you. Because somewhere around you, there is this one talented filmmaker with a great film that has to be viewed by us, reviewed and appreciated. So with that note, let's get right into the show. The very first movie that we are going to review in our review show today is a very heart-touching movie. With a screen time of 8 minutes 23 seconds hosted on IQ Lit channel, the movie in our review list is Stammer. I'm sure as soon as you heard the title of this film, you must have guessed what the movie is all about. Even I started watching this movie with a mindset saying that this movie is about a person who has this stammering problem and maybe they have created a sympathy around him, and that is what movie is all about. Though the movie starts as we expect, but the makers were very intelligent to navigate this movie altogether to a different viewpoint. The film basically starts with this person who is facing an interview and has a stammering problem, and because of his problem he loses the opportunity. That is when he gets a message from his online friend who is coming to his city and wants to meet him. Now, when they meet at a coffee shop, he starts speaking to this person and this person is not replying. Will he tell his problem to her? If not, how will he manage? And when she comes to know what his problem, what will happen? All these questions will be answered by the end of the film. And that, my friends, is a very cute ending given to this film. Now, let's see the technical details of the film. The story, screenplay and direction is done by Mr. Vamsi Krishna Agastya Raju. The film is based on a very simple storyline, and the best thing about this movie is the way it is composed. Trust me when I say this, when you are watching the movie, you will not find it lengthy because it has such a strong and gripping screenplay. The makers took care of every single detail and made sure the film is as believable as possible. Coming to the camera of the film, the DOP of the film is Mr. Sharan Murthy. Each and every frame of the film looked very rich and very artistic. One thing I noticed in this film is the frame is not cluttered with objects. Most of the times, the frames were empty, yet looked very classy to watch. Wonderful lighting and great understanding of angles made this film very interesting to watch. Credit also goes to Abhinay Sai, who is the editor of the film. The film reached to the next level because of the wonderful color choices and the smooth transitions and cool framing. I must say this is a really nice film with a really great visualization and a wonderful thought behind it. And movies like this will refresh your day. Appreciating the whole team, here at UD's Quickest Movie Reviews, we rate I Stammer a 4-star in our show. All the best.
I Stammer. I Stammer is a short film which revolves around a person who is having that stammering problem and is about to take up a relationship. What does it happens? Whether that relationship gets successful? Will that girl accept his problem? What will be the end? Is the story. The story, the screenplay, and the direction is neat, and they have done exactly what is needed in this concept. Cinematography, editing, and other technical stuffs have done a neat job in this particular film. I like the way the concept is, especially because it was done so beautifully that sometimes you will connect to the character. So on a whole, when you look, it was a wonderful crafted movie. With this, I rate I Stammer a 3.5 out of 5. Good luck.
The second movie in our review list today is Dhara Part 1, Gau Rakshak. With a screen time of 10 minutes 37 seconds, the film is a sensitive political perspective movie about social and manipulation of so-called leaders in the name of religion. The movie is hosted on Lekhak Raju YouTube channel. The movie basically starts with this leader who is speaking about Gau Rakshak or saving cows. He is telling the importance and divinity of a Gau Rakshak. On the other hand, there is this lady who is from a foundation who is trying to explain people that in the name of Gauraaksha you cannot kill another human being, and that is not divine at all. Between these two, there is this one family of a poor farmer who says that the high priest has told him that if he do a puja and donate a cow, all his sorrows will be gone and he will get a good yielding from his field. Wife accepts for this and asks him to borrow some money from someone so that they can perform this puja, and they does it. After doing a puja, they donate a cow, and all of a sudden one day this Muslim gentleman walks into this farmer's house saying that his cow was grazing in his fields, hence damaging his field. But then farmer claims that the cow is donated to the temple. He has nothing to do with the acts of this cow. Things get hot when they start arguing. The conversation ends up in a fight. In a fight, farmer is badly wounded. Now, will the farmer survive? What happens next? Will this matter be escalated into a political outspree of religion? Will this take a bad shape in the hands of so-called leaders? A lot of things may happen in part 2. Now to the technical details. The film is directed by Mr. Lekhak Raju. As told, the film is a showcase of a very sensible point of society. Raju made his point clear in his movie without spoiling the balance of the story. It is really a very big challenge for any maker to attempt a movie like this. I really appreciate Mr. Raju for his spirit to attempt something like this with social responsibility and with social sensibility. Now, coming to the camera and editing of the film is done by Mr. Rishi. Camera is really nice, though there was some points where the focus was out, but then the emotion or the intensity of the film is carried out well. I really love those motion shots, but then here is a bit of advice. When you are traveling, that is from right to left or left to right, I would suggest the point where you stop, that is when you are traveling from right to left, here I would suggest you place a close so that you will break the motion, and then again when you are going back it looks very smooth. What happens here is when you are moving your camera from right to left and immediately you start taking it back, there is a visual jerk happening at the point where you stop your camera and decide to come back. So that can be minimized when you use a close-up. This, I'm sure as an editor you know how it works, so that there is very smooth transitions when it is happening. Now let's talk about editing. Editing was decent enough. However, when it comes to color and when it comes to the exposure control, I think you could have done much better. I think outdoor shots, whatever you have taken, were a little bit overexposed. You should have controlled the exposure. I think you could have corrected brightness. But then, on contrary, I really loved the indoor shots. This scene, I remember that farmer and his wife are talking, and there is a smoke going from the light. That really is the highlight of the movie. It enhanced the scene, and situationally it enhanced the reach of the scene to the next level. That is a very nicely done job. In short, the film is socially provoking, well done, decent enough movie to watch. And appreciating each and every teammate of this group. Here at UD's Quickest Movie Reviews, we rate Dhara a 3.5 star in our show. All the best.
Dhara Part 1. A story which revolves around a cow is the concept of this entire short film. After watching this movie, I wondered what are the different dimensions of situation it can happen based on a small concept, that is cow. One, political behind it. Another, the person who is suffering for a daily wages, that is shown also. These are a wonderful movie which is so good to watch, and the director has done his job well. However, I felt that there were few dialogues delivery were lacking, since it was more like an artificial thing, or you just wanted to speak out the dialogues. It looked a bit artificial, and it was not an unnatural thing for those characters, especially that lady character which comes and helps the poor people. I think the voiceover and her action didn't even sync up. So those were the few drawbacks I would say in this movie. However, when you look at on a whole, you will really get satisfied, Cinematography was good, especially those aerial shots were amazingly taken and it was apt to what the script wanted. Credit goes to the director as well as the other technical staffs who did their wonderful job. On a whole, it's a good movie to watch. With this, I rate Dhara Part 1 a 3.5 out of 5. Good luck.
The next movie that we are going to review in our show is Happy Birthday. With a screen time of 14 minutes 11 seconds, Happy Birthday is a short film drama hosted on the Stage YouTube channel. The movie basically revolves around these three family members, a mother, a father, and his daughter. As that is the daughter's birthday, the mother of this kid says to her husband to bring a cake when he is coming back from his work. But father, who is a rickshaw puller, expresses his helplessness and his poverty to his wife. But then, as they are talking, he sees that his daughter is watching from a side. As soon as he sees her face, he cannot deny and promises her to get a cake when he is back from his work. Now what happens next? Will this poor father get a cake? Can he earn so much that he can buy a cake? What will he do to buy a cake? Finally, how is this going to end? Is a very heart-touching ending given to this film. Concept, written, screenplay and dialogues are done by Mr. Satyam. And direction is done by Mr. Narendra Aryan. The film is very simple. Frankly, the very long screen time will make audience feel the film is too slow. A bit sharp screenplay would have helped this movie. The makers have worked very hard to make this film more believable. However, I think somewhere they missed a small detail of this girl's, that is daughter's, costume. The costume was not really going with their poverty or the looks of their poverty, where the rickshaw puller was having a very apt costume. The wife of this rickshaw puller had a perfect costume given to her. The house, the set was properly done. If only the girls' costumes were taken care, I'm sure this would look more realistic. Moving on to camera, Mr. Narendra Aryan, Saurav Rai and Abhishek are the people behind the camera. Most of the time camera was static, where you could have experimented a lot with the camera and its angles. And I often observed this, that there was a constant out focus. But then they managed it with the editing, and that shows the skills of the editor. Editing is done by Mr. Vivek Rajshekhar and Satyam. As told, the editing is decent. But when it comes to color, I think they could have used or experimented a bit with the color. But at the end, we see a great flick with a lot of emotion, a lot of heart-touching moments, and a great end. Appreciating the whole team, here at UD's Quickest Movie Reviews, we rate Happy Birthday a 3.5 star in our show. All the best.
Happy Birthday. A father who is a daily wager goes out to work, and his wife informs him that it's their daughter's birthday and she wants a birthday cake to be cut. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that much amount of money to buy a cake for his daughter. But since he doesn't want to disappoint her, he says okay. With this, the story begins, and whether he brings the cake for his daughter. If so, what are the struggles he faces? Are the rest of the story. The concept and the innovation part was simply superb, as I was able to connect to the story right from the frame one. The main lead, that is that person who is daily with the rickshawala character, played simply a good acting, and he carried the entire movie on his shoulder, which was a great part, and it had a lovely ending as well. So it was good when you take it on an overall view. Cinematography and other technical stuffs though didn't have much on it, but still they delivered what it is required. Cinematography and other technical stuffs didn't have much in it, but still it did what is required on this particular concept. With this, I rate Happy Birthday a 3 out of 5. Good luck.
The last movie that we are going to review in today's episode is Soulmate. With the screen time of 7 minutes 22 seconds, Soulmate is a short thriller that is hosted on Dreamcatcher's Vision, a YouTube channel. The film basically starts with a deep conversation between this couple. The couple are basically talking about a bad incident that happened on their 10th anniversary. As the story progresses, the viewer understands that this wife was dead in that accident that happened on the 10th anniversary. She slipped and fell on ground, which instantly killed her. And the person who is sitting right now with her husband is her dead soul, who came back to know what exactly happened on that day. What happened exactly? How did she die? Did she really die by slipping as her husband is climbing? Or is this husband who is the killer of this wife? Will she ever find out how she was killed or how did she die? Exactly is the climax of the film. The film's ending is going to blow your mind. That is for sure. And if you are a fan of a crazy twisted thriller, mark my words, this movie is meant for you. Coming to the technical part, written, acted and directed by Shalima and Himanshu, the film has a great plot. The film is multi-layered. By the minute you understand the first layer of the film, you are already watching the second layer. So the film is very fast and written in such a fashion that audience are glued to their screens till the last frame of the film. As the writer themselves are the actors of the film, they exactly knew what to be performed to manipulate their audience. And trust me, they did their job 100%. Coming to the camera, Marisa and Nihira are the people behind the lens. They did a very decent job. I really loved those trick shots and the montage shots that were taken outdoor. But then, when we are talking about the shots that were composed inside, I see there was a little bit disturbance of light. I think when it comes to light, they still have to master their technique. That shot where this woman is moving out of the frame, the slow motion shot, had a great noise and a lot of waves happening, which I think in editing they could have corrected it. But then the scene was so powerful and intense that people, I don't think, will register that noise or the waves. And that is a great achievement of a filmmaker, that even when there is a mistake, your scene is so powerful that people will be forced to look at the intensity of the scene and not the technique of the scene. To sum up, the film is wonderfully pulled and will amaze you till the last frame of the film. Do not miss it. Appreciating the whole team here at UD's Quickest Movie Reviews, we rate Soulmates a 4-star in our show. All the best.
Soulmates. It's a thriller genre which mixed with a horror concept where couples are talking about a murder which has happened, and you come to know that that lady has been killed in that murder, and she is just inquiring the reason behind her murder to his husband. What happens? How did it happen? The rest of the story. The story and the screenplay is good, simple and neat, and it has a good twist in the end, which was really good. And I like the characterization of that lady more than that particular male lead, because I felt that female lead was more into the character compared to the male lead, but both did their parts well. Just a slight bit more good was the female cast. Cinematography and editing and the other technical stuffs are decent enough, and it just had that feel going through to the entire movie. Credit goes to the entire team, and in short, it's a good watchable flick. With this, I rate Soulmate 3 out of 5. Good luck.
Now that brings us to the end of the show, guys. As always, thanks to Mr. Venkatesh for being our special reviewer of the day. But wait, guys, before you go, let me remind you that you can watch all these movies that we just reviewed by hitting the link given in the description below. And if you're a filmmaker yourself and wants us to review your movie in our show, it's very simple. All you got to do is just get into one of the social network links given below, inbox us your link along with a message saying that you want us to review your film in our show. One of our teammates will acknowledge you by sending a message to your inbox. Once you get that message, it will take a bit time because we have about 200 to 300 movies that we still are in a process of watching and making a script of. So it will take time. Meanwhile, there is a WhatsApp group where we have some wonderful filmmakers. We have a lot of discussion going on there. We talk a lot about filmmaking and stuff you can be a part of. All you have to do is hit the link given below and be a part of our WhatsApp group. So with that note, guys, let's end this episode. Till we meet next week with some wonderful filmmakers and their work that we are going to review and rate. This is me, Udai, signing off. Namaskar.